Today's lesson is conspiracy theories. No big deal or a threat to society. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to be talking about something called conspiracy theories. That means people come up with these ideas about how the world works or whether something is wrong and we've been fooled by the government or we've been fooled by the media. And there are all sorts of conspiracy theories out there. Like the moon landing was faked, global warming is fake, vaccines are bad for you. Those are all conspiracy theories.
Absolutely. People take a few facts, often unrelated, and they kind of weave it or spin it into a story that often advances a political idea or a way of thinking or just a distrust of government and authority. And that works for some people. But of course, generally, conspiracy theories can be kind of harmful for society because they make us all doubt each other. They make us doubt facts. They make us doubt others' intentions. And often, when you really dig down into them, you find that conspiracy theories are made up of junk science, misinformation, or just misunderstanding.
So let's get to it, everybody. Let's listen to the first part of our lesson. It's a little long, so pay extra special attention.
Conspiracy theories. No big deal or threat to society?
The Earth is flat. Neil Armstrong never landed on the moon. These aren't facts. They're examples of popular conspiracy theories. But what exactly are conspiracy theories? Are they harmless? And why do they appeal to some people? Put simply, conspiracy theories are the belief that powerful people or groups secretly control certain events or situations. They often focus on a secret plan, and they usually involve odd or unproven explanations for the events or situations in question. Interest in conspiracy theories tends to spike at moments of sadness, fear, or uncertainty, such as the death of a famous person or the discovery of a new virus. People who study the topic think this likely occurs because sharing and believing in conspiracy theories gives people a sense of control over their own lives.
大家好，第一部分我们来介绍标题中的单字 conspiracy 这个名词表示阴谋或是密谋。例如 Sometimes things just happen. Not everything is a conspiracy against you. 有时事情就是这样发生了，并非一切都是针对你的阴谋。或是 The man was accused of conspiracy to kidnap. 那名男子被指控密谋绑架。接下来看到片语 in question，它的意思是正被提及的或是讨论中的。我们可以说 The car in question has been involved in an accident and the police are investigating. 被提及的这辆车卷入一起意外事故，警方正在调查。又或者说 I was at home with my wife on the night in question. 你所说的那晚，我和我太太在家里。接着是动词 spike， 它指的是突然急剧上升或是用尖物刺穿。例如The price of electricity spikes during the summer months. 夏季月份期间，电力价格飙涨。或者 Madeline's left foot was spiked by a nail when she went jogging. Madeline 在慢跑时，左脚被一根钉子刺伤。
Okay, so back to the title. Title is Conspiracy Theories, which refers to some kind of secret plan, secret activity that the government is planning or that companies are planning, and they're trying to come to some sort of conclusion or they're trying to achieve some sort of goal in which everybody gets cheated and somebody else benefits. So that's what a conspiracy is. Also, a lot of people disagree as to whether it exists or whether it's just completely fantasy.
Absolutely. So are these no big deal or a threat to society? If it's no big deal, it's really not important. It might be interesting. It might cause you to laugh or something like that, but it's not important. It's not serious. If it's a threat to society, well, that could be very serious. So we're going to look at this and try to answer that question. Let's look at some examples of conspiracy theories as we begin the article. The Earth is flat. There you go. That's one that's been around for a very long time. Of course, science can prove over and over again in many ways that the earth is not flat, but some people insist on believing that it is. Neil Armstrong never landed on the moon. The moon landings were fake. They were filmed in a TV studio in LA around that time, just in order to win the space race against the Russians. Again, this has been proven wrong. And of course, there would be thousands of people who would have to be in on this secret, and none of them are telling the truth. So no, Neil Armstrong did land on the moon. Anyone who says he didn't is trying to sell you a conspiracy theory. So as the article says, these aren't facts. They're examples of popular conspiracy theories. But what exactly are conspiracy theories? Are they harmless? Are they no big deal, as it said in the title? And why do they appeal to some people? That's probably the biggest question. Even after these conspiracy theories are proven totally wrong, some people insist on continuing to believe them. So obviously, they appeal to some people. They're attractive to some people for some reason.
Right. For example, we could say that Mexican food does not appeal to many Taiwanese people. They just don't like it. It just does not appeal to them. And yes, indeed, sometimes these conspiracy theories appeal to certain people. Here in the next paragraph, it says, put simply, or to state it in simple terms, conspiracy theories are the belief that powerful people or groups secretly control certain events or situation. So that's basically the basic meaning of conspiracy theories. Yes, somebody's in power and they're trying to control everything and they're trying to fool us. They're trying to pull the wool over our eyes. They're trying to put something on us.
They often focus on a secret plan, and they usually involve odd or unproven explanations for the events or situations in question. That's the thing about conspiracy theories. If we have all the facts, it's kind of hard to twist them into a conspiracy theory. So they take a lot of unknowns, they add in a bunch of mixed up facts or science that is not really totally explained, and then they create this narrative, this kind of story. So there's a secret plan. Some powerful group, the government, the military, universities, doctors, whoever it might be, has a plan. And these conspiracy theories also often involve odd or unproven explanations. That's why they persist, because it's hard to prove something that doesn't exist. So these events and situations in question provide a lot of sort of material for the people who want to spin up, whip up, write these conspiracy theories, create them, and they really focus on anything in question. When we talk about something in question, it's just what we're talking about now, the subject at hand. So if you're in a meeting and people are talking about their holiday plans, you might say, hey, can we focus on the subject in question? Can we focus on the subject that we're here to discuss now at this time?
Right. I could say, for example, hey, where's the information about the market survey? Oh, John is in possession of the information in question. In question just refers to what you want to know, the thing that we're talking about. And interest in conspiracy theories tends to spike at moments of sadness, fear, or uncertainty, such as the death of a famous person or the discovery of a new virus. So here we've got the word spike, which is being used as a verb. It just means there's a peak of something, a sudden rise of something. It could be a noun as well. There's a spike in crime at the moment because the economy is not doing well. But in this particular case, the word spike is being used as a verb. It just goes up.
It describes that line on a graph when things suddenly go up and then might maybe go down soon after. It looks like a spike or a needle or something. So that's why we describe it that way. People who study the topic think this likely occurs because sharing and believing in conspiracy theories gives people a sense of control over their own lives. Yeah, in some ways you could look at conspiracy theories as sort of being kind of like superstitions, right? When people feel that they're not in full control of their life, there are frightening things out there that they don't fully understand, they might come up with superstitions or, myths or legends to kind of explain it. In many ways, conspiracy theories are modern myths and legends, and if you kind of believe them, it gives you a sense of safety or peace or understanding or control of things that really are out of your control because the world is a wild and weird place.
Right, so here we have the phrase to believe in. That's usually talking about some kind of idea or a religion, like do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in God? But to believe someone means you agree with what they said. Well, I believe you. I think you're telling the truth. But here we're talking about people believing believing in conspiracy theories, and those are ideas, and these ideas give people a sense of control over their own lives. Okay, that brings us to the end of the first part of our lesson for today. Here comes the second part. It's pretty long, so pay special attention.
Feeling in control sounds positive, but belief in conspiracy theories can have serious consequences. By promoting the idea that we're being lied to, conspiracy theories damage the public's trust in authorities. Why vote if you can't trust politicians? Why get vaccinated if scientists and doctors aren't telling us the truth? If large numbers of a country's population start thinking this way, it could fracture society and cause public health disasters. What's more, conspiracy theories tend to increase distrust between different groups of citizens, leading to hatred and extremism. Conspiracy theories are difficult to disprove because believers see those who disagree with them as part of the conspiracy. Thankfully, though, there are ways we can protect ourselves from being misled. Most importantly, you should think critically about anything you read. Is the source reliable? Does it contain provable facts and statistics? Is it written in a calm and balanced tone? If the answer to any of those questions is no, you should be skeptical and do additional research on the subject.
第二部分来介绍 consequence 这个名词，意思是结果或是后果。举例来说， One consequence of email is that people send fewer paper letters through the mail. 电子邮件的结果之一是人们减少发送纸本信件。也可以说 If you continue to break the rules, you will have to face the consequences. 如果你继续违反规定的话，你将必须面对后果。下一个介绍 vaccinate 这个动词的意思是给接种疫苗。例如 The stray dog got vaccinated before it was adopted. 这只流浪狗在被收养之前接种了疫苗。或是The doctor vaccinated all the children in the village to prevent several infectious diseases. 那名医生帮村里所有的小孩施打疫苗，以预防数种传染病。接下来我们看到名词 hatred， 指的是仇恨、憎恶或是敌意。可以说 There are plenty of people I dislike, but I don't feel hatred towards anyone. 我讨厌的人有很多，但我对任何人都不抱仇恨。又或者说Ellen has a hatred of spiders, and she leaves the room every time she sees one. Ellen 憎恨蜘蛛，她每次看到蜘蛛就离开房间。最后是动词 mislead， 意思是误导、使误信或是欺骗。例如 The news article misled readers by using the politician's quote out of context. 这篇新闻文章断章取义地引用了这位政治人物的言论，误导了读者。再看一个例子The sign in front of the restaurant misled people to believe that drinks were free. 那间餐厅前面的标志使人误信饮料是免费的。
All right, we are back with the second section, I should say, of our article. Feeling in control sounds positive. So we're picking up from where we left off. Conspiracy theories often help people feel in control of situations they can't really control. But as it says, feeling in control sounds positive, like a good thing. But belief in conspiracy theories can have serious consequences. It can have serious effects. Serious things can happen if people believe in conspiracy theories. So consequences are kind of like results or what happens after a first action, so the things that follow. By promoting the idea that we're being lied to, conspiracy theories damage the public's trust in authorities. Right, if you believe the government is always lying to you and they always have some secret evil plan, then it's going to make it very hard for you to believe the facts when they come out, even if the facts are there to be helpful to you, to keep you safe. If you don't believe the people who are telling you these facts, you won't be safe. You won't trust anything that they say. Why vote if you can't trust politicians? You often hear this. Everyone is corrupt. They're all in it together with some secret conspiracy. So why bother voting? And of course, this allows bad politicians to get more power. Why get vaccinated if scientists and doctors aren't telling us the truth? This is one that was, of course, very common to hear around the time of COVID. Luckily, not so much in Taiwan, but in other places in the world, people thought getting vaccinated, getting that medicine, that shot to prevent you from catching a disease, well, that shot would hurt you much worse than COVID would. Even though COVID was killing people, people thought that the medicine to protect them from COVID was actually some kind of evil vaccine, evil medicine that was going to do bad things to their body. Getting vaccinated, you're getting a vaccine. That's the type of medicine that prevents you from catching a disease in the future. Getting that shot, getting that medicine is getting vaccinated.
Right, to vaccinate is the verb and the vaccine is the noun here. So that's one possible result of conspiracy theories. Well, if doctors aren't telling us the truth, then don't get vaccinated, and that could have some sorts of bad consequences. If large numbers of a country's population start thinking this way, it could fracture society and cause public health disasters. So if a lot of people, if a large amount of the population starts thinking this way, then the results could be, or the consequences could be, that the society would be fractured. It would break into smaller pieces, and then we might have more public health disasters, more viruses spreading around, and people getting more and more sick.
Exactly. What's more, or furthermore, to add to that, conspiracy theories tend to increase distrust between different groups of citizens, leading to hatred and extremism. So the people who, for example, believe in science start to get in arguments with their family members, friends, other members of society who don't believe in vaccines, who think that the vaccines are evil. So, of course, this causes a lot of conflict between people, even among family and friends. You know, if you're worried about your grandmother getting COVID and your friends won't get vaccinated, or a family member won't get vaccinated, you would start to be angry at that person, maybe for putting others at risk or putting others in danger. So these can lead to hatred and extremism. Hatred is just hating someone. This is the noun form of to hate someone. If you have hatred for someone or something, you hate that person or that thing. And extremism, well, when you're extreme in this way, we're talking about sort of political extremism or extremism of thought. It means your ideas are sort of way out of the mainstream. If you're an extremely racist person, if you really hate people from a certain country, if you're sexist in some kind of way, if you believe that men should have more rights than women, these ideas today in the modern world are very extreme, so you would be sort of speaking from an extremist point of view. You would be trying to push your extremism, your sort of very on the fringes, on the edge political thought on other people.
That's the idea or the concept, extremism, like Islamic extremism, and the person would be an extremist. Now, moving on to the next paragraph here, it says, conspiracy theories are difficult to disprove. You can't say it's wrong because believers see those who disagree with them as part of the conspiracy. They question your authority. They question where you got your information. Thankfully, though, there are ways we can protect ourselves from being misled. So if you're misled, that means somebody makes you believe something that probably isn't true. And yes, indeed, conspiracy theorists or scammers try to mislead people into believing they need to supply their account number or something like that, and then they lose all their money.
Exactly. Being lied to, basically. If you're being misled, you're being lied to. Most importantly, you should think critically about anything you read. Absolutely. There is so much media out there, from newspapers, television to the internet, of course, has thousands of websites, and many of them might have extremism on them, have extremist points of view. So it's important to think while you are reading, or think critically about anything you read. To think critically is basically to analyze the information, not just to listen or read what the person is saying and go, oh, that must be true. You have to think about who is writing it, who are they writing for, would they have a political opinion they want you to believe? Maybe they're extremists. Who knows? So basically, check your sources, look at what your reading comes from, and think about what they might want to get out of you, or what they might want to do to control you or have you believe a certain way. So think critically. Keep your brain turned on, in other words, when you're reading or watching media. Is the source reliable? Can you trust this source? Does it contain provable facts and statistics? Do they back up what they're saying with provable facts from reliable people? Are they just saying, I heard something or my friend told me? Well, those aren't provable facts. So you want things that can be proven, things that are provable, things you can actually check, and also statistics, raw data. That's what statistics are when we look at charts and graphs, opinion polls, government research or research of different types, and they come out with numbers, and these numbers translate into facts and information. Those are statistics. So they should have some statistics if they're telling you something that they really want you to believe.
And we've got another question. Is it written in a calm and balanced tone? Is it steady? And if the answer to any of those questions is no, you should be skeptical or you should be doubtful and do additional research on the subject. Okay, that brings us to the end of the second part of our lesson. Let's wrap things up now with the third part.
Although conspiracy theories may seem harmless, they can negatively impact society by causing distrust and hatred. We should thus all do our parts to limit their spread. By being aware of the dangers they pose and taking steps to protect ourselves from them, we can ensure a healthier, more informed society.
Okay, the third part begins by saying, although conspiracy theories may seem harmless, they can negatively impact society by causing distrust and hatred. So yes, indeed, lots of conspiracy theorists are not very large in number. You hear about them every once in a while, but they are very small in number, so you may think they're harmless, but still, they could impact society. They could affect society in a negative way. They could cause distrust and hatred. They could divide us all and set everybody at each other's throats.
We should thus all do our parts to limit their spread. Yes, everyone should be working together to limit the spread of these conspiracy theories. If you have friends or family who are reading or paying too much attention to these types of things, it's good to talk to them about it, to try to present them with some facts. Let them make their own decisions, but do help them to try to bring as much light to the subject, as much information and truth to the subject as you can. By being aware of the dangers they pose and taking steps to protect ourselves from them, we can ensure a healthier, more informed society. Yes, it's always better when people know the facts and have the information, the true, correct information, rather than being misled by people who are trying to sell them conspiracy theories for their own selfish agendas.
And Mike and I are done talking now. It's time to turn things over to Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们今天要来练习篇章结构的题型。这次的文章是关于 conspiracy theories 阴谋论。那么题目有4个空格，但是有5个选项哦。我们来看看这5个句子吧。好， A 选项他说 Although conspiracy theories may seem harmless, they can negatively impact society by causing distrust and hatred. 虽然阴谋论可能看似无害，但他们可能透过造成不信任和仇恨而对社会产生负面影响。这边注意它有用到转折词 although。 再看到 B 选项 They often focus on a secret plan and they usually involve odd or unproven explanations for the events or situations in question. 他们通常聚焦在一个秘密计划，并且经常涉及对相关事件或情况奇怪或未经证实的解释。好，这句呢其实很有可能是在解释阴谋论，在说明它的定义。注意句子里面它用的代名词是 they。 好，再看到 C 选项 Thankfully though, there are ways we can protect ourselves from being misled. 不过幸好我们有一些方法可以保护自己不被误导。那这句的线索在于 thankfully though， 不过幸好。然后他也有提到说可以保护自己不被误导的方法，这表示前面的句子可能就会有提到棘手难解的情况嘛。我们再看到 D 选项他说 While social media companies make efforts to combat conspiracies, the spread of misinformation continues to pose challenges to public trust. 虽然社群媒体公司努力打击阴谋论，错误资讯的传播持续对公众信任产生挑战。那这边要注意它有用到转折词 while。 那么 E 选项 If large numbers of a country's population start thinking this way, it could fracture society and cause public health disasters. 如果一个国家大多数的人开始这样想，它可能会让社会分裂并引发公卫灾难。那这句的线索在于thinking this way， 这样想，就表示说他前面的叙述应该会提到某种可能会导致负面后果的想法。好，那现在大概看完5个选项要表达的意思，我们来做题目吧。好，我们看到第一个空格，它位于第2段的第2句。那前一句提到说，简单来说，阴谋论是认为有权势的人或团体秘密控制某些事情或情况 certain events or situations。 然后空格后面的句子则提到，人们对阴谋论的兴趣往往是在悲伤、恐惧或不确定的时刻突然急剧上升。从上下文判断，空格最有可能是在说明阴谋论的定义。那么我们说选项 B， 他提到说他们通常聚焦在一个秘密计划，并且经常涉及对相关事件或情况奇怪或未经证实的解释。这个选项其实是符合句意的，其中的代名词 they 那就可以用来指阴谋论，而且句中有提到这个 the events or situations in question， 那指的就是前一句他所提到的 certain events or situations， 所以是正确答案咯。好，再我们看到第2个空格所在的段落，他提到说相信阴谋论可能会产生严重的后果，然后看到空格前一句他提到阴谋论会损害大众对政府当局的信任，人们如果无法信任政治人物或科学家与医生，就可能不想投票或不愿接种疫苗。那么空格后面呢，他有用到这个 what's more， 除此之外，去表达说阴谋论往往会增加不同公民群体之间的不信任，导致仇恨和极端主义。我们可以从文章脉络来推断，空格里面应该填入跟缺乏信任有关，而且又能承上启下的内容。那最适合选项就会是1，去表达说，如果一个国家大多数人开始这样想，它可能会让社会分裂，并且引发公卫灾难。好，第3个空格，它前一句则提到，阴谋论很难被证明是假的，因为相信者视那些不同意他们的人为阴谋的一部分。那么空格后一句又提到说，读到任何内容都应该进行批判性思考。之后再用几个问题来帮助读者判断某个主题是否值得进行更多研究。所以从上下文我们可以推断说，空格最有可能是要介绍，要带出能够帮助辨别阴谋论的方法。那最适合选项是 C， 不过幸好我们有一些方法可以保护自己不被误导。所以句子里面它用到这个 thankfully though， 就可以用来作为语气的转折，然后再带出帮助辨别的方法咯。好，再来看到第4个空格，它位于最后一段的第1句，推测可能是要填入能够呼应文章主旨的句子。那么空格后面提到说，我们因此应该尽自己的一份力来限制他们的传播 limit their spread。 然后呢，他说借由意识到他们构成的危险 the dangers they pose， 并采取措施保护自己免受其影响。这边我们就可以推断代名词他们指的其实就是阴谋论 conspiracy theories， 而空格内容可能是关于阴谋论的负面影响，所以最适合答案会是 A。 虽然阴谋论可能看似无害，但他们可能透过造成不信任和仇恨而对社会产生了负面影响。那这个选项符合句意，同时也能总结全文，因此呢是正确答案。好，那我们还有一个 D 选项没有选到，它就有提到这个社群媒体公司努力打击阴谋论等等。那这个选项呢摆在任何一个空格都不符合句意，所以就不选咯。那么以上这些讲解，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Consequence. A failure to follow the directions could have major consequences, including serious injuries. Hatred. Glenn hoped to counter the atmosphere of hatred in the neighborhood through acts of kindness. Critically. The committee reviewed the proposal critically, weighing its strengths and weaknesses before making a decision. Statistics. This year's statistics will reveal a significant decrease in crime from last year. Mislead. With his clever speeches, the politician was very effective at misleading voters. Combat. Elsa has worked hard to combat her fear of public speaking, using various techniques to overcome it. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I am Roger. See you next time.